Hello, I'm Dr. Russell Dawn, President of Concordia University Chicago. Thank you for tuning in to today's Cougar Athletics broadcast. We take great pride in the strength of both our athletic and academic programs, which are rooted in our steadfast commitment to Jesus Christ. Dedicated to the liberal arts as a foundation of a high-quality college degree, we believe education should form individuals for service to their neighbors. This makes Concordia Chicago an exciting and fulfilling place to study, work, learn, and grow. Learn more today by visiting cuchicago.edu. Thank you, and go Cougars!
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela burns it.
An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
Good afternoon and welcome to the campus of Concordia University Chicago, where the visiting Finlandia University Lions will take on the Cougars of Concordia University Chicago. Carter Gledhill, Peter Borkowski with you on the Cougar Sports Network as we get ready for week 2 of football for the Cougars this season, coming off of a loss in week 1 against the University of Chicago by a score of 34-14. There's a lot to look forward to if you're the Cougars, especially against a team that has not won a game since 2017.
I'm excited to see how the Cougars come out and perform today, Carter. It was a close contest last week going into the fourth quarter against U Chicago. Cougars only trailed by a touchdown at the time. However, Maroons figured things out, outscored the Cougars 13-0 in the fourth to take the game 34-14, as you said. But very good game defensively for the Cougars against a very good offense. Shout out to freshman Cleveland Tucker. He was the defensive back, led the Cougars in total tackles with 11.
We look down on the field for the coin toss. Captains for the Cougars today: Eric Molina, Christian Covington, and Julian Ramirez. Concordia won the toss, elected to defer to the second half. Finlandia will start on offense in River Forest. A beautiful afternoon for football, September 10th. As NFL football started earlier this week, week 1 for the NFL, week 2 for the Cougars, 83 degrees in River Forest. A nice wind today as well, a breeze that's just moving Old Glory just beyond the scoreboard to the left. Cougars rocking the all-gold uniforms with the white helmets. The Lions, white top with blue lettering, black pants, and a white and black-blue helmet. Cougars won the last matchup in the 2021 season at Finlandia by a score of 26-2. It was a game where the Cougars were able to put up nearly 300 yards through the air. And I know we're going to talk about it when he comes onto the field, but the quarterback for the Cougars, Finn Allers, he had 133 yards in week 1, but there's some potential here for Finn to get something going through the air.
Well, he may have only passed for 133 last week, but he rushed for 50 on the ground as well as a pivotal game-time touchdown. Excited to see what Coach Lambert can do with this dual-threat quarterback this game.
Ryan Auer boots it away. Raiden Toldness with the return. Spins around and gets knocked down just beyond the 25-yard line. So one thing to keep in mind with this Lions offense is there's a ton of new faces to the skills position, and it starts off with the quarterback, Hunter Miles, the freshman from Weidman, Michigan, Beale City High School alumni. This is a team that likes to run the ball a lot. They will do it often. The bread and butter for this Lions team is the ground game.
Well, last week against Benedictine, Miles only threw for 5 attempts, completed 2 of them for 100 yards and a touchdown, also threw a pick in there. But like you said, Carl, this is a heavy rushing team.
A quick handoff inside. Tripped up for just a 2-yard gain is number 26, Kevontae McDonald, a freshman from Detroit, Michigan.
Very, very old school offense on the field for Finlandia. Usually you have 3 backs out there, a couple tight ends. Hardly will you see any receivers. So you got to imagine game strategy for the Cougars is load up that front, stop the rush, and you have a good chance at shutting down this Finlandia offense.
Martin Agbo, Julian Ramirez, and Jelani Warner, the front 3 for the Cougars. Warner led all 3 of the front linemen for the Cougars in week 1 with 5 tackles. Another handoff. This time it goes to number 22, or should I say number 24, Jordan Halley. So it'll be 3rd and about 5 for the Lions to open up the game.
Halley, another freshman getting his start here for the Lions today. Last game against Benedictine, 14 rushing attempts, only gained a net of 17 out of that. As a team, the Lions rushed it 41 times against the Eagles, but they only managed to get 42 net yards out of those 41 attempts.
Handoff inside. On the carry, number 24, Jordan Halley. Pickup of just around 5. We'll see where the marker goes. And it will be enough to move the chains for the Lions. And this is going to be something that might play a little bit of a disadvantage to the Cougars is if their defense is out there for a long period of time and this Lions team is able to run the ball effectively, it's going to wear down the defense, and it also keeps the Cougars on the sideline. These are 2 teams that really like to hold the ball for a long time.
I was just going to mention that, Carter. Ever since Coach Lambert came here to River Forest, time of possession has kind of been a specialty of the Cougars. They like keeping that ball in their possession.
Handoff inside and chugging forward for a gain of around 5 is number 24, Jordan Halley again. Right now, the Lions are starting to put together a nice opening drive.
Well, a touchdown here on their first drive would be big. Again, since they're not a big passing team, that means it's going to be hard for them to play catch-up really quick. So they got to stay in this game on top of that score. So being able to take the lead early against the Cougars, that's going to be really beneficial to this Finlandia team.
The wing T formation for the Lions. Another handoff to McDonald. The ball pops out. The Cougars say they have it. Referees coming in on the pile, await the official signal, and it is in favor of the Cougars. Picking up the ball for the Cougars was number 44, Trevon Thomas, the sophomore from Wauchula, Florida. Had the ball at the end of the pile, a good turnover for the Cougars. Now it sets up their first drive of offense in opponent territory, but just a nice takeaway for the Cougars.
Well, when you're talking about the Cougars' front 3 of Egbo, Ramirez, and Warner earlier, Carter, I kind of wanted to mention Thomas's name. The linebacker led the Cougars in total tackles last year with 54, making his impact early here.
Flags fly on the play. First penalty of the game. False start called on C.J. Morris. Cougars in week 1 were able to tie the game up with the Maroons just after coming out of the locker room to start the third quarter, but a couple key plays for the Cougars, not able to punch it in early in the game, 4th and goal, but also a costly 4th down misconversion late in the second quarter. As a pitch over to DeAndre Daniels, another pickup for Daniels, who had a great game in week 1. Not the biggest numbers we saw from Daniels in his career at CUC, only putting up 89 yards on the ground, but that is the guy that this team really looks to get the offense going.
And Daniels really picked it up as the game went along, too. He kind of looked a little rusty at the beginning of the game, but as time went on, as he got more touches, he seemed to get back into that rhythm that made him such a dangerous threat last year.
Pick up a 5 on the play. Second down for the Cougars. Empty backfield for Allers. Throws out to the right side. And getting pushed out of bounds by a pack of Lions is DeAndre Daniels again on the reception. 5 receptions in week 1. This is a Cougars offense that really builds off momentum. Coach Lambert said it in the Coaches Weekly that they really need to just stick to what they do best and let everything else on the field take care of itself.
As a team, they play best when they're not trying to do anything too fancy. Maybe that'll come later in the season, but right now, fundamental football, that's where they need to be.
Timeout taken by the Cougars. 10:53 remaining in the opening quarter in River Forest. The Cougars with a turnover forced by number 44, Trevon Thomas. Cougars will have 3rd and 7 when we return on the Cougar Sports Network. Third and 7 for the Cougars. Ball on the Lions' 41-yard line. A quick pass out to Christian Covington. Has a lane, is able to pick up the first down and a little bit more. Christian Covington, the senior from Corinth, Texas, had 3 receptions for 13 yards in week 1. He's a big-bodied receiver. If he can get into the open space, it's going to be a good spot for the Cougars getting into that tall body on the outside.
I talked it in our pregame show before last week's game, but Covington's really someone I want to see the Cougars offense utilize more. Like you said, Carter, he's got a big body for those contested catches, hard to bring down.
Play action from the Cougars. Pass up the middle to Daniels. A flag flies on the play. Daniels gets tackled around the 14-yard line, but there is a flag on the play. So the penalty goes against Jordan White, the freshman tight end, an illegal man downfield, so it brings the Cougars back. After what would have been a big-time play, DeAndre Daniels just able to slip up the middle of the field on the play action. He'll now move the ball back for the Cougars all the way to the 38-yard line. Replay first down. Covington in motion again. They hand it off to Covington. He has a block, but able to get around it. First contact was made for the Lions was number 14, Diego Agosto. Nice pickup on the play for Covington, and I'll be 2nd and 8. This is also a team that likes to stretch the ball horizontally as well. They use that jet motion a lot, Peter. They've already shown it so far here in the early goings of this game against the Lions as they send Rex in motion. He comes back, a quarterback draw. Allers is able to pick up a couple but he's brought down by number 5, Nathan Yerva.
Well, expanding on what you're talking about with the Cougars, they like to move horizontally a lot. Sometimes that gets them in trouble. They spend a little too much time doing that rather than going up and down the field, going vertical. Sometimes I think when they need those big plays, which they don't really need right now, but when they do, it's best they just go straight down the field rather than spending more time in the backfield, allow those defenders to come to them, possibly get a tackle for loss.
3rd and 6 on the 29-yard line. Pitch inside. Little shovel pass from the Cougars, and the Lions were able to stuff it up the middle. A gain of about 2 for the Cougars. They tossed it to Jordan White. They tried to get him to follow the lineman, but the Lions really just clogged everything up.
I like the plan theoretically, but the execution could have been a little better. White didn't really know where he should have gone, it looked like.
Spread offense for the Cougars, 2 receivers on each side. And now we have some movement on the front. If this is a defensive encroachment on the Lions, it'll be a first down for the Cougars. And they'll get offsides instead. So the hard count for the Cougars on 4th and 4 grants them a new set of downs. And that's the kind of tricky thing that the Cougars actually were the victim of that in week 1, already starting their opening drive with the hard count.
Well, like the Cougars, Finlandia is a very young team. A lot of underclassmen starting this defense. Their front 3, 2 freshmen, and then a sophomore. So little tricks like that might be able to catch them off guard more than an experienced team.
Another jet motion to Covington. He has the sideline looking for the pylon. He's in, but there's a flag. Call on the field is a touchdown. It depends on the flag. Penalty goes against number 3, Delvin Bledsoe. A hold on the outside. Would have been a touchdown for the Cougars. So now 2 big plays drawn back on the opening drive for the Cougars. They had the 14-yard pass to DeAndre Daniels up the middle. So now for the Cougars, it negates a 22-yard gain. As a handoff to Daniels, bounces it to the left side, tries to use the stiff arm. But the sophomore linebacker, Charlie Grabonski, had nothing to do with it. He wanted all of it, coming in and making the tackle. So now it looks to be a big 2nd and long for the Cougars.
Well, like we were talking about, Daniels looked like he was more worried about going side to side than just up the gut on that one. He's got the speed and he's got the physicality to take on those tacklers head on, especially when you got such a young defensive group against you. Sometimes it's best just to go right at them, attack them, see if you can catch them off balance.
5-yard loss on the rush. Blitz coming from the edge. Hand off to Gerald Crawford. And a pack of Lions again swarm to the ball. This is a ferocious Lions defense right now. It's not just 1 or 2 white jerseys making a tackle. It's 3, 4, 5 that we've seen on every play.
Well, they're doing a really good job getting behind the Cougars' offensive line. Talk about how young their defense is. The Cougars' offensive line is made up all of underclassmen except the starting center, Amir Kavik. So Lions doing a good job getting past those young guys in the front 5.
3rd and 16 for the Cougars. Ball on the 28-yard line. Allard with a throw. Finds a man. It's bobbled by Bledsoe and hits the turf. On the coverage for the Lions was the freshman defensive back, Tony Cook. Bledsoe had a move inside, but now it is a 4th and 16 for the Cougars. They'll bring on the field goal unit.
Well, it was good coverage by Cook. He was right on Bledsoe's back, but I was also right in the numbers, too. That's one of those passes you got to haul in.
There'll be a 45-yard field goal attempt for Ryan Auer. He did not attempt a field goal in week 1. He gets his first crack here. Snap was a little bit of a butterfly, but the field goal is good. Cougars get on the board first. A 45-yard field goal from Ryan Auer gives the Cougars a 3-0 lead.
That one just squeaked in there, Carter. Last season, our 1 for 2 in the 40 to 49 yard range. Talk about a tough one for your first field goal attempt of the year. 45-yarder, like you said, wasn't the cleanest snap either, but Howard just squeaks it past the crossbar, gives the Cougars the early lead.
Cougars up 3-0 over the Lions. And looking inside that drive, there was a couple key plays for the Cougars that really kind of stalled the offensive production, but at the same time, they were able to get over that hump, and they were able to put 3 on the scoreboard. 2 big penalties, as we mentioned, the holding from Delvin Bledsoe, but also the illegal man downfield, Jordan White. So 2 big-time plays that were called back for the Cougars. But, again, I think the big thing here for the Cougars is they got on the board in their opening drive.
Again, besides those mistakes, I like that drive overall from the Cougars. A couple things go the other way. That's possibly a touchdown drive there. So I like it. You just got to clean those little pieces up. No holding. You got to bring in catchable passes. They do that. I think they put 7 up. So good first drive from the Cougars.
Toldness back to receive the kick. Gets cracked from the left side. Number 0 on the play, making a big-time tackle for the Cougars. You hear the crack of the shoulder pads from up in the press box. One more thing to just touch on that drive, Peter, for the Cougars. 11 plays, only 16 yards. So it just shows that the Lions were able to keep containment. But again, it was those big plays called back for the Cougars. Nonetheless, they were able to get 3 on the board.
I think that's a bit of a lucky drive there for the Lions. I think the Cougars had their number if you take those little mistakes away.
Handoff given to Austin Bignell. A pickup of about 6. And we talked about it. This is a very young Lions team. You look at a lot of their running backs. They have 3 freshman running backs in their starting lineup right now, or should I say their first team of offense. But a team that has not had a lot of success in recent years. Again, they haven't won a game since October of 2017. So right now, under a new year, first-year head coach, as I should say, you're really just trying to build the foundation for your program.
Well, like you said, Mike Dufresne, first year as the coach. He's changing things up a lot. He's integrating this old-school offensive mentality.
Another handoff to Bignell. Pickup of maybe 1. In on the tackle for the Cougars is number 44, Trevon Thomas. You spoke highly of him in the pregame show, but again, 7 tackles in week 1, a tackle for a loss, and a sack. This Cougars team really relies on a big-time linebacker. Looking back at some of the older players too, Tyler Dudley as well, but who graduated a couple years ago. This is a team that really loves their linebacking core.
This is a really good defensive unit for the Cougars, and they have been since last season. Lamont Butler, the DC for CUC, has done a great job with this program.
Jordan Halley picks up maybe 1 yard. It'll be 4th and short for the Lions. Decision time here for Mike Dufresne. And it looks like the punt team will come out on the field for the Lions. So 3 and out for the Lions on their second drive. In the punt for the Lions is the freshman from Las Vegas, Nevada, Hayden Piles. Back for the Cougars, standing around the 35-yard line, is Christian Covington. The play clock is at 0 while all this was happening. So a delay of game called on the Lions. Move them back 5 yards.
Well, with that penalty, Cougars should get some good field positioning here, especially if we can get a good return from Covington. But it just gives that offense a little breathing room. They could maybe experiment with a couple more things.
Ball was fumbled. Almost getting in the backfield was Thomas. Covington makes the fair catch around the 48-yard line. And now there's a scuffle going around the Cougars sideline. Jalen Glass, as well as for the Lions, number 2, Charlie Garbowski, were wrestling around, I should say, on the turf near the Cougars sideline. Whistles were blown after the play. No flags. Cougars will start their second drive at the 48-yard line. Again, good field position for the Cougars, but trying to build off that first drive of 11 plays and 16 yards.
Well, like I was saying, because it's such good field positioning, they could take some chances here.
Hand off to Daniels, has some room. Stiff arm up the middle. DeAndre Daniels. Not today, he says to the Lions defense. 48-yard touchdown rush for DeAndre Daniels.
Well, there's your angry run of the week. Oh, man. Like you said, Carter, he told that defender he's not bringing me down today.
DeAndre Daniels woke up today and chose violence with that run. 48 yards for the Cougars. Ryan Auer out on the field to attempt the point after attempt, but a big-time run for the senior running back for Concordia. Auer's extra point attempt is good. Take a look back at the replay. But right up the middle, and then DeAndre Daniels delivers a devastating stiff arm.
It's looking like Derrick Henry out there.
DeAndre Daniels only 5'11", 195, but he is built. He's got speed, but he's very shifty. And then I personally just love the stiff arm. It's one of those moves, as you mentioned, Derrick Henry.
It's disrespectful, that's for one thing.
Well, DeAndre Daniels now puts the Cougars up by 10 after the extra point from Ryan Auer.
Well, as I was saying earlier, I really wish they would run Daniels up the gut a little more. And you can see why there. Like you said, Carter, he's got speed, he's got strength despite not being the biggest guy out on the field. The Lions defender learned that one the hard way. But he's just such a powerful running back that you get him a little speed, you give him a little space, he's going to make something happen just like he did on that TD run.
Lions will have to get something going to try to slow down the Cougars, but big thing here for that team is not to get out on 3 downs. Auer's kick goes out of bounds, so the Lions will have their best field position to start on their third drive. But the Cougars able to get that big-time rush from Daniels. But again, the Lions have to get something going here. They cannot allow for their defense to go back out on the field after just having that short time. Because, again, we talked about this is going to be a pound-em kind of game, a run-heavy game, especially if the Cougars are able to hold the Lions to their, or should I say the Lions wing T formation, as most football fans would know it as.
Well, as weird as it might be to say, since we still got 3 minutes left in the first quarter, but this is about as close to a do-or-die drive as you can get this early in a game. Again, this is not a Lions team who moves the ball fast. They like to take their time, so they can't give the Cougars too big a lead, or else they're going to have trouble coming back from it.
Handoff up the middle. As the players roll off the pile. Handoff was to number 26, Kevontae McDonald. Gain of about 2 or 3 on the play. They'll give him the extra half yard, so it'll be 2nd and 7. Ball will be placed at the 38-yard line. With some blockers, Jordan Halley gets stuffed up the middle. In and around the tackle, linebacker Brandon Arredondo. The freshman from Dalton, Georgia, had 8 tackles in his debut for the Cougars in Week 1.
Well, whoever's in charge of bringing in defensive recruits for the Cougars, they're doing a great job as of the last couple years, because a lot of their big contributors on the defense, like you said, Montfort had a good game, Javon Thomas had a fantastic game, and freshman season last year, Brendan Bow, we haven't mentioned him yet today. These are all underclassmen. They've all just been brought in recently, and they're already making a big impact on this defense.
Play action from the Lions. The first time throw from Hunter Miles. Pass was intended for Raiden Toldness. A nice breakup on the play. Number 22 for the Cougars, Cleveland Tucker, the freshman from Houston, Texas, in on the coverage.
Mentioned Tucker at the top of the broadcast, led the Cougars in total tackles last game with 11. Fantastic pass breakup there. Timed the impact perfectly. Told us it looked like he'd be able to grab it, but that impact from Tucker shook the ball loose. So good job on the freshman. Another underclassman making his presence known on this Cougars D.
Piles back to punt for the Lions. Hits it off the side of his foot. It'll take a couple bounces and roll over just past the 35-yard line. Touching it for the Lions is Tony Cook. So Cougars will set up shop on the 34-yard line. Cougar fans watching CUC Athletics right now on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit the bell to be notified of all updates for CUC content, as well as become a subscriber or a member of the channel. And if you would like to feel so inclined, donate to CUC Athletics. You help improve the broadcast that you're seeing right now on your screen. Covington on the pass from Allers. Gets twisted around and out of bounds. Tackle by Tony Cook. Good pickup on the play for Covington. And the one thing already that this Cougars team is doing differently in the passing game is they're really trying to focus on Christian Covington.
I think that was one of their issues passing-wise last year is they didn't really have that go-to guy, at least not scheme-wise. They really like to spread the rock around, and as good as that may be, that means you don't have that one consistent threat you can go to. Like you said, Cart, it looks like Covington's kind of taken on that role this year. I think their passing game is going to benefit because of it.
2nd and 3 for the Cougars. Ball on the 41-yard line. A little misdirection. Allers out of the pocket, launches it downfield. Pass was intended for number 88, Dalton Bowler. It'll be 3rd and short for the Cougars. That was another thing the Cougars did a lot in week 1, Peter, is they like to get Allers out of the pocket, really swing him, but also, too, try to get him on the run. He has a good arm, but also we saw his rushing abilities, too, in week 1.
And because the Cougars' offensive line is so young, sometimes Allers doesn't have the luxury of being able to stay in the pocket. So as he gets more game experience, being able to peel out, run, and throw on the run, that's going to become a valuable resource for that young quarterback.
Bowler to the right. Play action. Covington with the grab and gets tackled down around the 46-yard line. A first down for the Cougars. A nice little read for the Cougars. Read option on the play. Covington coming across the middle, moves the chains.
Haven't seen a lot of action across the middle from the Cougars so far this season. I know it's a small sample size, but Covington, he's one of those middle threats I really like. 6'2", 206. We've said it before. He's got that big frame for those contested catches. We saw it there. He was under a lot of pressure under that catch. Still was able to reel it in and get a couple yards after the catch, too.
13-yard pickup for Covington. Daniels with the handoff. Bounces it outside and will step out around the 40-yard line in front of the Lions sideline. Big pickup for Daniels, who had the 48-yard touchdown on the last drive for CUC. A 5-yard gain makes it 2nd and 5 as 20 seconds remains in the first quarter for the Cougars. Allers keeps it himself up the middle, picks up the first down before being brought down at the 30-yard line. In on the tackle for the Lions, Charlie Garbowski again. And the Cougars will let the time wind down. The end of the first quarter in River Forest. Cougars up 10-0 over the Lions. We'll have more football for you on the other side of the break on the Cougars Sports Network. Cougars getting ready to start a new set of downs on a drive that continues from the first quarter. Ball on the 30-yard line for CUC. Hand off to Daniels up the middle. Nice move. Makes a man miss for tripping up and falls over around the 14-yard line.
Kind of the same story with Daniels. This game, as we saw last week, that first drive or two kind of took his time finding his feet under him. Then he got that big, angry run for the 48-yard touchdown. Now he's really found himself in a groove, getting large gainage of yard on every run he's getting now.
Cougars with 115 yards of offense in the first quarter. They give it off to Gerald Crawford. Pickup of maybe a yard or two. First initial contact was made by Finlandia by number 14, Diego Augusto. Finlandia with negative 17 yards of offense in the first quarter, I should say. No gain on the play for Crawford, 2nd and 10. White in motion. Allers tries to pop it 2 minutes, picked off. Augusto with the interception for the Lions. First turnover of the day for the Cougars. A red zone drive. Ball turned over. Now the Lions able to finally put their foot on the ground and stop a little bit of that momentum the Cougars had offensively.
The pass from Ayler is just a little bit out of reach for that. As number 88, Dalton Bowler, hit off his fingertips. That's what led it right to Augusto's hands. Right time, right place. You don't know if you want to call it a lucky break, but nice tip gives Augusto the interception. Now Finlandia might have a little momentum going here after that big turnover. See if they can turn that into yardage on the offensive side of things.
So the drive will start for Finlandia on the 16-yard line. And just a swarm of Cougars brings down the ball carrier in number 26, McDonald. But again, 4 jerseys for the Cougars, everybody around the ball. But you try to run it up the middle on this Cougars team. We mentioned it, the front three as well as that backup or the backup for the Cougars and the linebackers really doing a good job of just stuffing everything.
Well, whoever made the pregame scout was spot on so far today. Finlandia, they've rushed it 10 times. They've only passed it once. So the Cougars, they know where the ball is going. Now it's a matter of just getting those tackles.
Loss of 1 on the first down rush. Lions are able to get about 2 yards on 2nd down. Julian Ramirez near the bottom of the pile. It'll be 3rd and long for the Lions. 0 for 3 so far today on 3rd down conversions.
You think they're going to have to go with the pass here at 3rd and long.
Miles only has thrown 1 time today, and it was an incompletion. He does again, coming off the edge, avoids a backer and tripping him up for the sack, number 44, Trevon Thomas.
Thomas, again, we've said his name before a lot today, and we'll say it again. He's making his presence known. Just a good athletic linebacker, what you really want to see out of your modern-day LBs. Getting that backfield, causing havoc, giving the Cougars excellent field position here.
2nd sack of the season for the sophomore linebacker. It backs the Lions all the way to the 9-yard line. So the punter, Hayden Piles, will stand in the end zone. Cougars are loading the line. Snap is good, punt away. A line drive, punt that takes a big bounce. Covington will try to return it. Gets past the 30 and gets pushed out around the 20-yard line. Good return for Covington. First time we've seen him do anything in the return game today. Sets up the Cougars for a good spot again after turning the ball over in the red zone. They find themselves right back in it on this drive.
And credit that a lot to that defense, of course, forcing Finlandia back on their drive, causing that punt. Piles hasn't had the longest punts yet so far today. So the Cougars know whenever they cause that fourth down, they bring out the punting unit, they're usually going to be set up for good field position.
Another negative net drive of offense for the Lions. So now the Cougars will load up the backfield. Allers keeps it himself. He uses the stiff arm. He finds the sideline. He tries to dive for the pylon, but gets knocked out at the 1-yard line. A 19-yard rush for Finn Allers. We talked about his speed from week 1 and what he was able to do on the ground with 57 yards against the Maroons. And so far today, he picks up a nice 19-yard pickup, 32 yards so far in the game. Hand off to Gerald Crawford. He gets tripped up in the backfield. Number 97, Chance Bridgers, able to swipe the feet away from Crawford, so it'll be 2nd and goal for the Cougars.
Good job there by Bridgers, getting into the backfield quick, tripping up Crawford.
Little quarterback sneak from the Cougars, and they score. Finn Allers, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season, makes it a 16-0 game with 10:36 remaining in the 2nd quarter.
So once the Cougars got to that 1-yard line, not much the Lions defense can do. I mean, credit them for getting at least 1 stop, but they were get 3 or 4. That's near impossible.
Allers' point after attempt is good. Caps off a 3-play drive of 20 yards. But it was only a matter of time before the Cougars punched it in on the 1-yard line. You know, trying to give it off to Crawford. But again, Allers just able to get the push from the back and the line up front. Morris, Franklin, Kavik, Duran, and Anthony all doing their job, just pushing the pile. Cougars able to score again.
And those 5 you just mentioned, Carter, they've had a much cleaner game as of recently. We saw them kind of struggle to open things up, especially penalty-wise. You haven't really mentioned their names, which is kind of a good thing when you're talking about the offensive line. And, of course, they help Allers get into the end zone for that last touchdown.
Cougars now with 151 yards of offense, 120 of which have been on the ground. Lions had some momentum on their last drive after the interception. A short kick from Auer. Coming up to field it again is Toldness. Lions now will have good field position. The return brings it all the way out to around the 32-yard line.
I doubt we'll get too much new to talk about on the Lions offense. Said it at the top of the broadcast. They live and die by the rush. Still 12 rushing attempts to still only 1 passing attempt. They're just going to keep pounding that rock until something finally breaks through. But as the scoreboard indicates, nothing's broken through yet for them.
Handoff up the middle. Gain of about 3 or 4 on the play. Kevontae McDonald again on the carry. McDonald with his 6th carry of the day. It'll be 2nd and 7 exactly for the Lions as we reach the 10-minute mark in the 2nd quarter. First time the Lions have spread out from the wing T formation. A quick pass out to Toldness and a big-time hit from Thomas, but also good effort from the Cougars defense. A lot of bodies in the area.
It was a nice grab by Toldness. That went a little out of reach. He was able to reel it in with one hand. but Cougars defense has just been absolutely brutal in terms of everyone converging on the ball. It helps when it's always, in the same spot roughly when they're rushing it, but even on passes like that, all the defenders are just zooming in on that ball, bringing on Tolnis before he can get anything going.
Cleveland Tucker on the tackle. 3rd and 7. Some misdirection in the backfield and a big-time tackle for a loss for the Cougars. Martin Egbo around the pile, as well as Brandon Montford. So a loss of 3 on the play. 4th and 10 for the Lions. The punt team back out again for Finlandia.
Well, this will be punt number 4 for Piles, only averaging 28.3 yards a punt today. Again, Cougars should have themselves nice field position here.
Covington makes the catch around the 32, makes a man miss before he's brought down by his own sideline. On the tackle for the Lions, Nick Javira, the freshman from Bark River, Michigan. Cougars will start their drive at the 37-yard line. 8:21 remaining in the first half. Carter Gledhill, Peter Borkowski with you on the Cougar Sports Network. "15 seconds on the play clock for CUC. Covington in motion. Cougars get the snap off. They give it outside and up the middle. Bledsoe on the sideline steps out around the 44-yard line, crosses the 50-yard line. A big pickup for Bledsoe. Also delivered a nice hit at the end, lowering the shoulder.
Coach Lambert, he's mentioned it a couple times this year, especially in his Coach's Weekly with you, Carter. He really wants his team playing with intensity, with energy, and you're seeing that in spades today. You got the DeAndre Daniels stiff arm. Bledsoe just ran over a man there. The defense is playing super aggressive. Everyone going after that ball. It's just a team who's playing with a ton of energy right now as they're looking for their first win on the year.
20-yard pickup for Bledsoe. A handoff to Daniels. Falls head over heels. Dropped around the 36-yard line. It'll be about 2nd and 2 for the Cougars. Some late changes for the Lions as well defensively. Motion from Covington. Allers goes the other way. Cut, lowers the shoulder. Falls over the 30-yard line. Tackle was made by Augusto again, but there is a flag on the play. Christian Duran with the hold for the Cougars. It'll march the ball back 10 yards. It'll sit now just beyond the 45-yard line.
It might not count anymore because of that penalty, but Allers has looked really confident as a rusher today. Ever since about the 3rd quarter of the U Chicago game, he's done a good job getting his feet under him. Good speed, good recognition of spacing and where to go. He's averaging a little over 8 yards a carry right now.
Second timeout called by the Cougars. We have to talk things over after the holding penalty. Cougars up 17-0 over the Finlandia University Lions. 6:35 remaining in the second quarter. Cougars look to punch it in again when we return on the Cougar Sports Network. 2nd and 12 for the Cougars. 6:35 remaining in the first half. Carter Gladale, Peter Borkowski with you on a beautiful Saturday afternoon in River Forest as we resume play. Pass outside to number 88, Dalton Bowler for a pickup of about 3. So 3rd and long for the Cougars. 2 and 4 today on 3rd down conversions.
Well, rate-wise, big improvement from last game. 5 for 15 against UChicago, 3rd down conversion-wise. Only 4 attempts, small sample size so far, but
play clock winding down, and Coach Lambert has to use his final timeout. So something with the signaling maybe for the Cougars from the sideline. Stalling a little bit of the relay in onto the field. We'll keep it here for this break. 5:50 remaining in the second quarter. Peter, looking inside the stats for this game right now. Cougars have 181 yards of offense. The Lions have -24. But the big difference here right now is the rush game. We talked about Finlandia being a team that likes to rush the ball a lot. They have -24 yards on the ground. The Cougars have 128. And it says on 14 carries for the Lions, they really haven't been able to get anything going for their offensive sake against the Cougars' defense.
Well, as much as they want to rush the ball, I mean, it's basically the thing they run every play minus a pass. Every once in a while, they just don't get that much production out of it. Like you said, Carter, the numbers today, -24 rushing yards on 14 rushes. Last game against Benedictine, 42 net yards on 41 rushes. So they live and die by it. They just don't get much production out of it.
3rd and long for the Cougars. The blitz from the Lions. A screen from CUC. Daniels has the first down and more. Another stiff arm. Oh, my goodness, DeAndre Daniels.
It's ragdolling people out there.
The disrespect. Woof. Cougars punch it in from 43 yards out on a screen pass to DeAndre Daniels. His 2nd touchdown of the day. Peter, I'm going to let you talk for a second, trying to catch my breath, because that was a big-time play again from Daniels.
I don't know how much I'm going to have to say, Carr. I'm trying to catch my breath too, but, man, if I was a Finlandia defender, I would not be trying to tackle DeAndre Daniels right now. I'm looking to get embarrassed here.
Point after attempt is good from Ryan Auer. Take a look back at the replay. Cougars did exactly what you're supposed to do on the screen. They followed the lineman, and DeAndre Daniels, full beast mode on the play. Cougars now lead 24-0. But I think that's the one thing, too, with this Cougars team. And when you rush the ball so well, the Lions are forced to blitz, show their hand a little bit more, get out of their scheme. And then Coach Lambert, at the right time, knew exactly when to drop the screen in. Also give credit to the offensive coordinator, Chase Hankins, for the call on the play. But the Cougars right now are firing on all cylinders, up 24-0 with 5:37 remaining in the second quarter.
Daniels, he's not much of a receiving threat, not near as much as a rushing threat, obviously. Just 262 receiving yards last season. But I think any way you can get the ball in his hand, whether it is a short pass like that, whether it's a pitch, whether it is just a standard handoff, I think that's what you got to do if you're CUC. Whenever he has that ball in any kind of open field, he's going to make something happen.
Return again by Toldness. A big hit on the play from number 49, Vincent Scarnato, the freshman from Pottstown, Pennsylvania. The drive will start for Finlandia at the 25-yard line, or should I say 25. 16 plays so far for the Lions in this game. Misdirection up the middle. In on the tackle for the Cougars is number 99, Julian Ramirez, bringing down McDonald again. And looking at this defense right now, Peter, Thomas has 6 tackles, Egbo with 4, Montford with 3. Julian Ramirez picks up his second of the game. This is a front 7, we should say, for the Cougars that is really just not allowed the Lions to get anything going offensively. But they're not doing anything crazy. They're sticking to the game plan. 2nd and 10. Lions try to bounce it outside. McDonald again. Brought down by number 44, Trevon Thomas. Pick up about 2 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Well, going back to what you said, Carter, they don't really need to do anything special because Finlandia is not doing anything special. It's basically a run up the middle every time. I'm wondering if, maybe not by this half, maybe not by the end of this half, but after some locker room adjustments at halftime, Finlandia comes out, they try to switch things up a little bit because the Cougars' mindset is clearly stop the run up the middle. Finlandia might be able to use that to their advantage, try a little trickery here and there and get something past that front 7 from the Cougars because, like you said, Carter, they're just absolutely on top of the ball so far today.
Lions take their first timeout, 4:02 remaining in the second quarter. They face 3rd and 8 on the 27-yard line when we return on the Cougar Sports Network. Third and 8 for the Lions. So far today, they have not converted on a 3rd down. Full backfield again. Play action and a sack for the Cougars. Brandon Montford, Marquise Overstreet team up for the sack. Montford was able to cap off the play. Another sack for the Cougars defense. Their 3rd of the day brings out the punt unit for the Lions.
You got to feel a little bit for Hunter Miles under center for Finlandia. Whenever he does get a passing attempt that he drops back, he just doesn't have that much protection. Cougars front 7 really doing a fantastic job getting into the backfield, taking him down.
Tight spiral from Piles, his best punt of the day. Rolls all the way to the 25-yard line. Takes a couple more rolls before it sits at the 22. Touched by Tony Cook. Best punt of the day for the Lions. Flips the field's the most important thing for Finlandia because now you have 3:08 remaining. A big stop from your defense here might be that momentum, Peter, you were talking about. You can make some adjustments in the locker room, but right now you just have to hold off the Cougars.
Already down 24. Don't want to head into the locker room down 30-plus. Against, a team whose defense they are not beating in any sense of the word. It's a huge drive defensively for Finlandia. Cougars are able to just steadily move that ball downfield, pick up a couple points. They're gonna look really, really good heading into the locker room.
Aller's pass out to Crawford. Sidestep, still up and tumbles down. Picks up the first down for CUC. Crawford, a sophomore from Chicago, Illinois, had 2 receptions for 21 yards in week 1. His 3rd reception of the day. Pickup of 11. Cougars back on the ball. Another pass out from Allers. Hauled in by number 88, Dalton Bowler. Bowler with his third snag of the day. Cougars starting to pick up a little bit of tempo here, maybe trying to match that intensity that they've had in the beginning of the game and get one more score before the end of the half. Bowler goes in motion. Allers drops back, another screen. This time Finlandia is all over it. Tackle made by Charlie Garbowski. Said his name a lot for Finlandia today. His 6th tackle. And now set up 3rd and long for the Cougars. 3 receivers to the far side. Allers rolls left. Drops a dime down the sideline, but too far for number 13, Jacob Potoff. The punt team now out for CUC, so a big-time adjustment for the Lions after the start from Gerald Crawford. Get the next 3 downs to basically stall the offense for the Cougars. And for the first time now, we see the Cougars heading out to punt the ball.
Well, defense did exactly what they needed to for Finlandia. Got to stop relatively quickly. We'll see how far this punt goes, but this is going to be some of the better field positioning Finlandia's had all day.
Timeout by Finlandia. 1:46 remaining in the second quarter. We'll step aside. Cougars will punt it away when we return on the Cougar Sports Network. Troy Pratley back to punt for CUC. Little dribbler takes its first bounce around the 43. There is a flag on the play. The ball will stop rolling at the 30-yard line. Touched by Ryan Hours. Now, conversation amongst the officials on the field. Flag was thrown by the back judge. With the way that the Cougars are moving off the field, there might be a chance that it is on Finlandia.
Yeah, no one.
A costly penalty by Finlandia. A new set of downs for the Cougars as the offense heads back out on the field. The 3rd penalty of the day for the Lions. An illegal substitution called. So the Cougars will start the drive again.
Well, that's about as inopportune a penalty you can take as Finlandia. Your defense does a good job. Gets off the field relatively quickly, but put them right back on with that costly mistake.
Pass outside to number 88, Dalton Bowler, but give credit to a big-time block on the outside as well. Seven on the play for CUC. Ball rests at the 50-yard line. Clock stops at 1:31. Two receivers each side for CUC. Covington in motion. Allers back. Avoids the sack, rolls right, looks downfield, and will just dump it short. Now a flag is thrown by the side judge as well as the back judge. 2 flags on the play. Offensive pass interference called on Devin Bledsoe. So the penalty moves the Cougars back all the way to the 35-yard line. Fifth penalty of the day for CUC. Now 45 yards of penalties for the Cougars. Quick pass to Covington at the 40. Gets upended and rolls near the 50. On the tackle for Finlandia, Kyle Murray. A freshman from Florida on the tackle. It'll be 3rd and 5 for CUC. Under a minute to play in the first half. Allers looks left, comes back right, trying to find a man. And keeping both feet in bounds was number 80, Jordan White. Or excuse me, number 88, Dalton Bowler. Well, the headline judge says that Bowler stepped out of bounds first, so the pass is incomplete. So interesting decision here for the Cougars. 4th and 5. Coach Lambert deciding to play it conservatively. We'll send out the punt team.
There's no real reason to go for it here. Field positioning kind of not great for a 4th down failed conversion turnover.
Bradley's punt takes a bounce around the 25. Letting it roll is Diego Agosto. Ball will stop at the 11-yard line, touched by number 12, Ryan Ayers. The Lions pinned deep in their own territory, 36.3 seconds remaining.
Well, with the way their offense, or lack thereof offense, I think the Cougars are fine punting it there. They got a big enough lead. They could have risked going for it, but you could also just pin the Lions back. Their offense hasn't been going anywhere today. So pin them all the way back in their own zone. See if you can maybe get a turnover, lucky break here, and maybe get the ball back in the last 36 seconds, but doubtful Lions can march down in half a minute.
Lions in shotgun formation. Cougars send the blitz, throw over the middle, and catch hauled in by number 24, Jordan Halley. Biggest play of the day from scrimmage for the Lions. Only the 3rd passing attempt from Miles.
There's a Finlandia player down.
As a training staff will head out onto the field. A 19-yard completion to Jordan Halley. Lions will have to burn a timeout, so both teams without a timeout for the last 27 seconds of the half. With that play, Peter, the Lions now have reached a net 0 yards of offense for a half, really, that saw a lot of negatives, a lot of pushback from the Cougars defense. But a big play, and it actually shows that this Lions team can spread the ball around if they need to. They can't really get anything going offensively on the ground.
I know I mentioned it at least once earlier, but the Cougars defense are so set on stopping the run at the line of scrimmage. Lions essentially just running it up the gut every play. That Lions, they do something like that, something you're not expecting them to do. They might be able to catch that Cougars defense off guard, and luckily for the Cougars, that wasn't a huge gainage of yard. But still, the Cougars are so set to stopping the run. You pull out a pass play like that, they might not be ready for it.
Lions will have to go 70 yards down the field now after the 19-yard pickup.
Without any timeouts to boot.
Very good point, Peter, that the Lions are going to have to move it downfield. They have to look to throw it to the outside. They line up in the shotgun again. Three receivers to the far side, one near. Miles moving around and gets sacked. Julian Ramirez, the first Cougar in the backfield, pulls down Miles.
They're just going to run this one out.
Third sack of the day for the Cougars defense. And with that play, that'll be the end of the first half here in River Forest. Cougars up 24-0 over the Finlandia University Lions. Peter and I will have our thoughts on the first half when we return for our second half opener. But Cougars off to a great start in week 2 of football. You're watching the Cougar Sports Network.
Concordia University Chicago is a Christ-centered Lutheran university where truth, freedom, and vocation form students for lives of influence and service for the common good. Our university offers a wide variety of undergraduate and graduate degree options that are available in person and online. That means we have a program designed for you. Whether you're a high school student, an adult returning to complete your degree, or someone looking to enhance your credentials and prepare for career growth. As a member of this university community, you'll also find support in your spiritual and personal life so you can grow in the faith and discover ways to serve others. To start your next journey with us, visit cuchicago.edu today.
Welcome back to River Forest as we get ready to start the second half of the football contest between the visiting Finlandia University Lions and the Concordia University Chicago Cougars. Carter Gledhill, Peter Borkowski with you on the call on the Cougar Sports Network as we take a look back at the box score of the first half where the Cougars put up 24 points on 260 yards of offense. The Lions are still not on the scoreboard, only 33 yards of offense. They were finally able to get something going in their last drive prior to the sack that ended the half from Martin Egbo and Julian Ramirez. Peter, we talked about the competition the Cougars faced against Week 1 in the University of Chicago, a good, rich football team with a lot of history. And to come out against a Finlandia University team that Coach Lambert talked about, they just need to take care of business, stick to what they were doing. What did you see from the first half that resembles the words that Coach Lambert said to the guys before today's game?
Well, defensively, at least, this team knows the game plan for today. We've said it so many times. Finlandia loves rushing the ball. CUC picked up on that immediately. They're stuffing the middle of the run game. Finlandia is not able to get anything out of it. They're just not a passing team. So Concordia, they knew the game plan. They knew it well. They're executing it well. And then offensively, they're just doing everything right. Besides a couple penalties in the early drives, they're playing good, clean football. They're rushing the ball well. They're getting timely passes when they need to. No big shots downfield yet, but they're just doing every little thing right. And against Finlandia, that's more than enough.
Cougars ran the ball for 128 yards on 15 attempts. Finn Allers had 132 yards through the air, a touchdown and an interception as well. He had 133 yards in last week's game against the University of Chicago, but this team right now is the best well-rounded we've seen the football team for Concordia Chicago in quite some time. This game really is reflecting that this Cougars team can do everything right, from the defensive side to special teams as well. Let's not forget Ryan Auer had that big 40-yard field goal early in the first quarter. As the Cougars will receive the second half kickoff, it'll be picked up near side and taken out by number. We wait for the number to come up, but there's a penalty on the play. Charles Kirtley on the return for the Cougars. Brought out to around the 32-yard line, but a penalty on the play. Holding penalty on the Cougars will move their drive to open up the second half all the way back to the 14-yard line. DeAndre Daniels, 2 touchdowns today. 77 yards on the ground, 46 yards through 2 receptions. First play of the second half for the Cougars, a handoff to the left side given to number 18, Blake Henson. Pickup of about 2 on the play. Finlandia's defense has been led by a few key players. Charlie Garbowski made the most noise in the first half, but also Diego Agosto had an interception for the Lions in the red zone for CUC. It'll be 2nd and 12. Flags fly. Cougars get it outside again. Tried to give it out to Henson on the outside, but the Lions were able to come in pursuit. A legal shift called on Jordan White, the freshman tight end. So the Cougars starting their second half drive, moving backwards.
This drive to start the second half could have been a real statement. Cougars come out, continue looking good offensively, tack on a couple more points, maybe a touchdown. Instead, they're moving in the wrong direction. They got to clean things up here faster. They run the risk of giving Finlandia any kind of life in this game.
It'll now be 2nd and 17 on the CUC 11. Man in motion. Hand off to Henson. Makes a man miss and is able to get tracked down. Able to get back a big chunk of that penalty yardage. Was tackled by number 34, Gabe Smith. So it makes it a little bit more of a manageable 3rd down for the Cougars. It'll be about 3rd and 6. Three receivers to the far side. Allers tucks it, tries to get out of the backfield, and he gets tripped up around the line of scrimmage by number 30, Jesse Hill, the sophomore from Lake Linden, Michigan, on the tackle. So the Cougars, an uneventful opening drive for the second half. Saw a lot more penalty yardage than they did offensive yardage. He'll send back Troy Pratley to punt it away again. Line drive Squibbler takes a bounce past Kyle Murray. And a nice tackle initially made, or contact was drawn by number 49, Vincent Scarnato. Rest of the Cougar special teams unit able to come down and make the tackle.
Well, this is exactly what Finlandia needed. Coming out of the locker room, a big defensive stop. Of the Cougars' 7 drives today, that's only the second one to end in a punt. 4 of them ended in a touchdown or field goal. And then there was the interception on the 3rd drive of the game for CUC. So Finlandia, they've forced 2 CUC punts in a row now. I think their defense is kind of picking things up. See if the offense can figure things out on this drive.
So Finlandia starts off with a little bit more of a traditional formation, but a nice tackle in the backfield by Martin Egbo. Brings down McDonald for a loss of about 2. It's the first time that we've seen the Lions really shy away from their traditional offensive set. Cougars have really done a good job in the beginning of the game limiting what the Lions could do inside the tackles, especially in the rushing game. Now they're actually starting to spread it out and go to the shotgun more.
Well, they started to spread out their last drive of the first half. That was probably their most efficient drive. See if they can keep that success here.
Miles trying to work out and gets brought down in the backfield. 4th sack of the day for CUC. Julian Ramirez picks up another sack. Makes it a 3rd and very long for Finlandia.
One of the rough parts for Finlandia in terms of running a more traditional offense, however, or I guess a more modern offense compared to their old school, just running it up the gut, is that Miles just hasn't had that much protection today from his offensive line. He's not having time to figure out where to go and get the ball out in an efficient manner.
3rd and 15. Miles over the middle. Interception! First interception of the season for the Cougars defense. Number 8, Brendan Baugh, able to secure it. Cougars force a turnover on 3rd and long. They'll have the ball to start another drive at the Finlandia 45.
So last week against Benedictine, Hunter Miles finished with a stat line of 2 for 5, 100 yards, a touchdown, and an interception. So far today, he's 2 for 4 with an interception. He's got 19 yards so far in the day, but similar stats to last season. But he's a freshman. He's just not getting those reps he needs for experience just because of how often they run the ball.
Allers picks up a gain of maybe 1. So I'm pushing and shoving after the play. Now a flag is thrown by the umpire. Jalen Franklin, the sophomore guard, called for unsportsmanlike conduct. Again, where he's coming from, quarterback ripped down. Maybe not the cleanest of tackles, but again, it's one of those penalties right now for the Cougars. Now another penalty, which is their 8th of the day, is going to be now 75 total penalty yards for the Cougars.
You don't want to see penalties, but that one you're not as mad about. Franklin protecting his quarterback. That's something you want to see after a hit that might not totally be 100% legit.
2nd and 25. Allers trying to avoid the pressure, but can't get away from Cole Stuber. First sack of the day for the Lions defense. Stuber just came out of nowhere, went right across the line, and frankly was able to avoid DeAndre Daniels as well, the only last line of protection for CUC.
Well, Stuber hasn't appeared in the stat sheet until right now, but he's been a consistent presence all game. He's really good at gaining the backfield and just disrupting things for Allers and the rest of his offense. So finally gets on the stat sheet with a big sack.
3rd and 38. They look to go to Bledsoe, and two Lions collide into each other on the play. It was number 20, Cade Hamlenboss, as well as number 28, Tony Cook, in on coverage of Devin Bledsoe. So it'll be 4th and 38 for the Cougars.
Well, now, 3rd straight punt Finlandia's defense has forced the Cougars into.
Pradley's punt hit in the air. Nice spiral. Agosto takes it out and gets tackled around the 35-yard line. Trevon Thomas, as well as Parker Kelly in the area. So Finlandia will start again in their own territory. They have not started a drive in the CUC territory this entire game. Had 5 3 and out so far. Go back to their traditional wing T formation. Handoff up the middle. Pickup of about 2 for Finlandia.
I'm interested to see the impact that last interception from Miles has on the offense as we see them go back to their running game plan. After they try to spread things out a little bit, that ended up in that interception. So I wonder if that maybe scared them going back to their very traditional wing T formation as there's a Cougar taking his time to get off the field.
Brendan Ball was down for a bit, now walking off under his own power. Maybe the wind just taken out of him. It was a pickup of about 2 on the play by McDonald. He's been the workhorse for Finlandia so far today, his 11th carry. Averaging just under 2 yards a carry. It'll be 2nd and 9 for Finlandia. Cougars start to pack the box on this play. A keeper from Miles. A nice stiff arm from Miles as he gets outside and is knocked out in front of the Cougars sideline. Miles with the biggest rush of the day for the Lions. Gets knocked out at the 49-yard line. A big pickup. 12 yards on the play.
Again, Finlandia does something a little different than what they usually do offensively, and it results in a big gain. wondering if we're going to see that a bit more now. Some rushes to the outside rather than straight up the middle. They go back to some passing. They got the Cougars, like you said, Carter, packing the box.
Play action from the Lions. Hail Mary throw. Miles was off his back foot. Out in coverage for the Cougars was number 26, B.J. Pitts.
It's a flag down.
But a flag down, as you mentioned, and more concerning for the Lions. Miles comes up holding his hand. So an illegal shift on the quarterback, Hunter Miles. He got hit pretty hard as well. There were a couple Cougars in the backfield that forced Miles to throw off his back foot. It'll be 1st and 15 for Finlandia. Cougars look like they're showing blitz. They do bring the house a little bit. McDonald with some room, lowers the shoulder. Picks up a good amount of yardage, picks up the penalty yardage and more. Be about 2nd and 6 for the Lions after the rush.
McDonald, big freshman, 6'2", 220. You can see why he's become the workhorse of this offense, but he's just running into so many bodies at the line of scrimmage that it's almost impossible to go anywhere. It's like running into a brick wall.
They give it to McDonald again. He inches close to the 1st down marker. Julian Ramirez with the tackle for CUC. It'll be 3rd and 1, if that, for the Lions. They are 0-6 today on 3rd down conversions. McDonald lined up straight behind Miles in the formation. They give it to Miles. There's a tackle from the Cougars that was close to the line of scrimmage. As the bodies start to pile off. Wait to see. The official spot says he's short. It'll be 4th and inches for Finlandia. So now 0 for 7 on 3rd downs. They're 0 for 1 so far in 4th down tries. Julian Ramirez again on the tackle for CUC. Crowd starting to make some noise at Concordia Stadium. Motion out of the backfield. A flag flies on the play. The Lions are able to pick up the 1st down. Lines judge near the Concordia side of the field threw a flag as soon as the snap was put into effect. So an illegal shift called against Finlandia. Takes away 4th and inches. And now Finlandia has to keep the offense out of the field. But a costly penalty by Finlandia. Their 5th of the game.
Well, they haven't had that many penalties in comparison to the Cougars' 8, but they've just been really, really unfortunate in their timing. Convert the 4th down and have it brought back.
Miles rolling out, trying to get away from the defense, and is sacked. Another sack from the Cougars' defense. Number 23, Brandon Montford, with the takedown on 4th down. Lions turn the ball over. 6th sack of the day for CUC. Peter, this defense started to wake up after the offense seemed to go away in the beginning for the Cougars. But the one thing that's never gone away is that energy on the defensive side.
You can tell those players are hungry defensively, especially that front 7. They know they're going to get a lot of opportunities today with a rush-heavy Finlandia offense coming to River Forest, and they're taking full advantage of it, getting into the backfield, taking down players left and right.
Hand off to the right side. Daniels will step out, and now a flag is thrown on the play. There might have been some extracurriculars on the CUC side. Bashir Anthony, the right tackle for CUC, called for unsportsmanlike conduct. Official mentioned that he blocked out of bounds, finishing off a block. So the down counts. Cougars will have to move back 15 yards from the spot of the foul, or should I say the ball. So Cougars now have 2nd and 17 on the 48-yard line. A handoff to number 40. Crosses just over the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and long for CUC. Handoff was to Adirian Sykes.
I like what we've seen out of Sykes so far this season for the Cougars. He's their kick returner, which we haven't really seen today, but in the passing game, 1 reception for 12 yards last game. Got a lot of speed to his game. Pretty elusive, too. One of those players kind of want to see get some more opportunities, see what he really has in his bag of tricks.
3 receivers near side for CUC. Allers lofts it up, finds his man on the sideline, and Devin Bledsoe called mark down right at the 1-yard line. The ball popped out at the end. Big time completion from Finn Allers puts the Cougars a yard away from the goal line.
We've seen Allers a couple times come really close to completing big plays like that. Finally able to drop that ball into the hands of Bledsoe, who's had some pretty good separation today and last week against U Chicago. Just a matter of time before those two connected.
Shotgun formation for CUC. A timeout called by Finlandia before the snap. Lions will head to their sideline to get some coaching prior to the Cougars sitting at 1st and goal on the 1-yard line, up 24-0 with 3:50 remaining in the 3rd quarter here in River Forest. You're watching the Cougars Sports Network. After the Finlandia timeout, the Cougars are at the 1-yard line. After a 43-yard completion from Finn Allers to Devin Bledsoe. And now another timeout called by Finlandia. Mike Dufresne must have not liked something that he saw after the timeout that he previously called, so Lions burn 2. We'll keep it here for this break in the action. So far, the Cougars now at 311 yards of offense. Big thing in the week-to-week growth for a football team, especially at the quarterback position. Finn Allers, 14 for 20 today, 175 yards through the air, a touchdown and interception. But also, too, he's able to rush it in one time as well. Big step up for Finn Allers in week 2.
Well, last week, Allers showed he could run the ball well. This week, he's showing that he can pass it just as well, too. I'd like to see him eclipse 200 yards, see if he gets there.
Handoff And into the end zone for a touchdown is number 18, Blake Henson.
That'll be a first career touchdown, too. Henson's a freshman.
Blake Henson punches it in from a yard out. Cougars score again. 4 plays, 45 yards on the drive for CUC. Point after attempt from Auer is good. Cougars now lead 31-0 with 3:47 remaining in the third.
Well, after the Cougars able to punch it in the 1 yard line, kind of makes you think what was Coach Dufresne calling those 2 timeouts for in terms of Finlandia. You know, last time we saw the Cougars on the 1 yard line, they punched it in just as easily. When you're that close, I think if you're a defense, you just kind of have to lick your wounds and go with it and admit it. But so not only does Finlandia burn through 2 of their touchdowns or they're down big, 2 of their timeouts while they're down big, they still let up the touchdown in the end.
Cougars score for the first time since the 5:37 mark in the second quarter. Get ready to kick it away to the Lions again. Ryan Auer checks his men. Kicks it all the way to the 10. Toldness, far side, gets across the 30 and gets another chunk of yardage. Gets brought down around the 34-yard line.
It's a decent return there from Toldness. He's getting better in the returning game as we've gone on here today. He's got some speed to him, able to find those holes and amongst all the blockers, trying his best to give his team good field position. But again, it's the same story we've been saying all game. Finlandia's offense, they've got to find something here. They got to find it quick.
Trent Taylor in on the tackle for CUC, 26-yard kick return for the Lions. A handoff to McDonald. Falls near the first down marker. In on the tackle for CUC, number 27, Eric Wade. It'll be 2nd and inches for the Lions as time keeps ticking off the clock. 3:10 remaining in the third quarter. Lions are going to have to start picking up a little bit more speed offensively if they want to chip away at this 31-point deficit. A handoff to Raiden Toldness. Loses a yard on the play. Cougars defense able to meet him right at the line of scrimmage. Now be 3rd and short for the Lions. Again, have not converted on a 3rd down opportunity in this game.
You got to give it back to McDonald. He busted off that big run just a play or so ago. Big guy, hard to bring down. See if they can get him into any kind of rhythm.
They give it to McDonald. And waiting for the official mark, he did get enough. First 3rd down conversion of the game for the Lions. Able to avoid a 3 and out. Gain of 2 on the play. Tackle made by Eric Molina. Fresh set of downs for Finlandia. Another handoff to McDonald. He gets upended by number 22, Cleveland Tucker, the freshman from Houston, Texas.
And McDonald's, again, he's finding his feet now. 9-yard gain on the first rush of the drive. He just had that 5-yard gain right there.
3rd tackle of the day for Cleveland Tucker. McDonald has now rushed for 47 yards on 16 attempts. Little misdirection in the backfield. Miles kept it himself. He gets pushed back after the play. No gain on the play for Finlandia. It'll be 3rd and 5. Or 3rd and 6 after the ball is moved back to the 48-yard line. Lions still in the wing T formation. Hand off to McDonald. Gets tackled just short of the marker by number 8, Brendan Baugh. Decision time here for Finlandia. Looks like they'll keep the offense on the field. We'll have to wait till the 4th quarter to see if Finlandia is able to pick up their first 4th down conversion of the game. Cougars able to punch it in. Now lead 31-0 over the Lions. 15 minutes of football left in River Forest. When we return, you're watching the Cougars Sports Network. Fourth down for Finlandia. Will they be able to convert here to start the 4th quarter? They hand it off to McDonald. It's close to the marker. We'll have to see. It is short. At the end of the play, Hunter Miles was down on the turf. Looks like he's holding his shoulder. The Cougars able to stop the drive for Finlandia. But now the bigger issue, too, for Finlandia is their starting quarterback, Hunter Miles, is being attended to on the sideline by the training staff. The Cougars will start their drive on their own 47-yard line.
Looks like we got a new guy under center for the Cougars, too. That's Troy Prattley.
So Troy Prattley, the second-string quarterback into the game. First play, he'll rush for a gain of a couple. The sophomore from St. Joseph, Michigan, did not play in week 1. He had some time last year as the starter for CUC.
So he was starter for most of the back half of last season. 10 games played, 44 for 77, 57% completion rate. Just over 500 yards, pair of touchdowns, 264 rushing yards, and 3 touchdowns on the ground.
So play clock reset after the official timeout. It'll be 2nd and 9 for CUC, a pickup of 1 on the play from Prattley. Blake Henson in the backfield as well. Now some final adjustments for CUC. Man in motion. Fake handoff. Prattley keeps it. Hurdles a man as 2 flags fly on the play. Prattley able to make it to the 47-yard line on the other side of the 50. Jesse Hill, the linebacker, called for an illegal block below the waist. So it'll be a first down for CUC and some extra yardage after the penalty.
This should be a fun quarter for the Cougars. We can get a look at some couple players we haven't seen yet today. 31-point lead. Feeling pretty safe in that, so try some different things out, see what will work and what you could possibly use throughout the rest of the season.
2 receivers each side for CUC. They hand it off and knocked out of bounds is Adarian Sykes at the 25-yard line. Another rush for Sykes, his second of the day. Picks up 7 on the play, 2nd and 3 for CUC.
Sykes, one of those speedsters that you love to have on your offense. You can try different things with them like we saw right there. Try to see how the freshman's role continues to grow as the season goes on.
Flags fly on the play. They had Sykes in motion. False start on Devonta Freeman. So new lineman in for the Cougars as well. Freeman in at right tackle for CUC. 3 receivers far side. Bledsoe, the only receiver to the left. Pradley, quick screen out to Sykes. Makes a couple men miss. Finds a hole, keeps his footing, and gets tackled inside the 10. Good pickup by Sykes. Gets to the 9, a pickup of 21 on the play. It'll be 1st and goal for CUC. Sykes in motion. Hand off to Henson. Spun around and tackled by number 52, Charlie Ramirez, the sophomore from Petoskey, Michigan. No gain on the play. .11:42 remaining in the ball game. The Cougars 345 yards of offense today. Shovel pass out to Henson. Has some room. Lowers the shoulder. First contact from Finlandia made by Diego Agosto. Henson's helmet came off, so he'll have to come to the sideline for a play. It'll be 3rd and goal for the Cougars. Ball at the 2-yard line. Cougars only 40% conversion rate for 3rd downs today. Pradley with the handoff. And just short of the goal line was number 34, Jordan Garcia. So 5 players in the backfield for CUC, moves the Cougars back 5 yards. Be their 11th penalty of the day. Now 100 yards of penalties for CUC.
Well, you don't like getting backed up 5 yards, especially when you're right on the goal line, but it does give the Cougars another chance at 3rd down.
Nate Speed, the second into the ball game as well for CUC. He lines up in the slot on the right side. Garcia now switches sides with Pradley. Speed in motion. And now a timeout called by Coach Lambert after the play clock winds all the way down. 10:32 remaining in the fourth quarter. Cougars up 31-0 over the Lions of Finlandia University. Cougars trying to punch it in from 3rd and goal, and we return to the Cougars Sports Network. Back in River Forest, Cougars 3rd and goal on the 7-yard line after an illegal formation penalty. Moved them back from the 2.
Well, the drive was looking good until they've run into some problems here at the goal line.
Speed in motion. Brantley back to throw. Into the end zone and caught for the touchdown. CUC scores again. Sykes on the reception. Cougars punch it in again. Now lead 37-0 over the Lions.
Well, Sykes, another first career touchdown. Add that one to the list for today's accomplishments.
Auer punches it through for the extra point. Cougars now lead 38-0. Caps off a 7-play, 52-yard drive. Darian Sykes able to come across to the middle. Troy Bradley able to find him. Great play by the freshman to get his first career touchdown.
Well, testament Cougars coaching staff, their scheme building too. A lot of different personnel on that drive than we've seen before in today's game. If they're still able to punch in the touchdown, so just good coaching on CUC's part and good execution from every player on the roster.
Quick shout out to the production crew today for the Cougar Sports Network. Wyatt McLaughlin, Chandler Kerr, Kate Benez, as well as Sydney Lloyd, Jackson Holwitz, Rafael Gonzalez, Emily Balaban, Janie Turnez. All the student workers behind the scenes giving you the great coverage of the Cougar Sports Network as Ryan Auer gets ready to kick it off to the Lions again. Toldness picks it up around the 3-yard line, tries to get outside, but is met by a wall of Cougars that starts off with Rashad Benson, the freshman from Lithia Springs, Georgia, able to stand up Toldness.
It's a big stop there by Benson. Toldness has got about 4 inches on height on Benson, and the freshman out of Georgia just stood his ground and got the stop on special teams.
Hunter Miles back out on the field for Finlandia after the last drive for the Lions. Saw him get up a little gingerly. Handoff to McDonald. Picks up about 3 on the play. McDonald, 19th carry of the game. Has been the workhorse, as Peter, you've said a couple times already in this broadcast.
And he's really, especially on the last drive, starting to kind of find his groove. Probably a little too late, but starting to get some yardage, get some decent runs in. It's just so hard when there's just a mound of bodies in front of you got to get through.
Switch of backs here for Finlandia. And now a flag is thrown after the play again. Josh Adams on the rush. Pickup of a couple. Wait to see the call from the official. Cleveland Tucker, the freshman defensive back, called for unsportsmanlike conduct. Not the only unsportsmanlike conduct we've seen from the Cougars today. Allows for a little bit of extra yardage for Finlandia after the play. It brings the ball all the way out to the 45-yard line for Finlandia. The four-rider rush from Josh Adams. Handoff to McDonald. Able to pick up a few more after contact. Number 94 for the Cougars was one of the first to get a hand on him, Austin Jackson. Second and 3 for the Lions. 8:45 remaining in the game. Handoff back to Adams. Able to get the first down, I should say. Picks up 5 yards on the play. Caden Miller in the area again for CUC. Lions starting to put together a good drive. 79 total yards of offense now for a team that really struggled in the first half. They've been able to start putting stuff together in the second. Another handoff to McDonald as a flag flies. It'll be a pickup of about 6.
Well, that's the thing. When you're rushing the ball every play, eventually you think you're going to start wearing the defense down and maybe start getting some breaks like McDonald. We've seen him heat up a little here in the second half, but things looking a little too late. 38-point deficit for the Lions, just under 8 minutes to go in regulation.
Rashad Benson called for the offsides on CUC, so it'll be 1st and 5 at the Concordia 38-yard line. Finlandia still sticking true to their bread and butter. Hand it off again to Adams. Ball almost came out at the end of the play. Tackle was made by number 87, Thomas Hudson, the freshman from Detroit, Michigan. New set of downs for the Lions after the pickup from Adams. 4th carry of the day for Adams. Now has 14 yards in the game. Miles keeps it himself, then pitches it, ball's on the turf. Cougars pick it up. There's a chance for a return. It's still going and breaking free. And into the end zone, Charles Kirtley. Take it to the house on the fumble.
Everything's going right, Cougars defensively today. Kirtley playing a little bit of look what I found. And there's a flag down.
Think they're going to get the Cougars sideline for celebrating the fumble recovery. That'll be the 4th turnover of the game for Finlandia. But a good chunk of the sideline for CUC was out there to celebrate the 66-yard fumble scoop and score from Charles Kirtley.
Another freshman on this roster.
We said freshman a lot for CUC. We'll wait to finish off that thought after the official call from the field from the official. So they got the CUC sideline for unsportsmanlike conduct. That was no shocker after the celebration. But this freshman class for CUC taking full advantage of the opportunities they've been given in the playing time already in week 2.
Well, everyone's chomping at the bits to get something here. Kirtley got that first career touchdown off the scoop and take it to the house. So Henson get his first, Sykes get his first. Everyone's getting a chance here.
Lots of first in this game for the Cougars, who now lead 45-0 over Finlandia, on their way to their first win of the 2022 season. Get ready for the kickoff when we come back after the break. You're watching the Cougars Sports Network. CUC ready to kick it off from the 20-yard line after the 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct call against the sideline will be enforced. So a chance for Finlandia to get some good field position. Ours kick goes all the way to the 15-yard line, backs up Toldness to the 10. Has a lane, has some more. Spin around and down to the 45-yard line. Tackle was made by Babaji Ekinola for the Cougars.
Nice return there from Toldness. Wasn't the cleanest reception. He kind of had to turn, jump, and grab that one, but then use his speed, still get a decent gain out of it. Kind of making something out of nothing on that one.
So Lions will set up their, could be potentially final drive of the game at the 45-yard line. Right now, if you're the head coach, Mike Dufresne, you'd like to see just a complete drive from your team to put a nice little lasting memory on this game. Miles hands it off to Adams, spin around, gets to the other side of the tackle. A pickup of about 9 on the play. Strong run from Adams. So it'll be second and short for Finlandia. Cougars bringing their linebackers a little closer to the line. This time they'll hand the ball off to number 27, Austin Bignall. Picks up the first down and more. About a 5-yard rush for the freshman running back from Grand Rapids, Michigan.
I think Finlandia kind of doing the same thing the Cougars are doing, seeing who else they got in the pipeline. Haven't really said Bignall's name today, another freshman on this Finlandia offense.
Vincent Scarnato on the tackle for CUC. Handed off to Adams. Met by a wall. Able to get a push from his lineman after the play. In on the tackle for CUC, number 50, Andrew Hawley, the freshman from Lovejoy, Georgia. Under 5 minutes to play in the game. Lions trying to make their way into scoring position and avoid a shutout. Handoff to Adams. Has some room and good push from his lineman. It'll make it third down and short.
Despite their offensive struggles as of recent seasons, Finlandia, they've avoided being shut out since November 26, 2019. That was a game at Alma. Final score of that one was 46-0 in favor of Alma. So Cougars looking to add to that company.
Last matchup between these two teams was last season at Finlandia. Cougars won 26-2. Now quick snap, and Adams able to get the first down just by a yard. Hawley on the tackle again for CUC, as well as Vincent Scarnato. First down at the 30-yard line for the Lions. Hand off to Adams. Up the middle, gets about 3 yards. Time is winding down for Finlandia, under 3 minutes to play.
With McDonald taking a breather on the bench. Adams, he's been the workhorse this drive. He's had 5 runs, 22 yards out of those runs. But just continuing Finlandia chipping away. So this is furthest they've been into Cougar territory in quite a while.
2nd and 8. A handoff to number 27, Austin Bignall. Tackle made by Ryan Ayers, the freshman from Memphis, Michigan. It'll bring up 3rd and long for the Lions. Able to get their first 3rd down conversions of the game in the second half. They'll come out in their traditional wing T formation again. Handoff to McDonald up the middle, near the first down marker, but just a yard short. It'll be a pickup of 6. And now a Cougar down on the field. Training staff coming out for CUC. We'll step aside as the training staff attends to the injured Cougar. 1:31 remaining in River Forest. Cougars up 45-0 on the Cougars Sports Network. Vincent Scarnato, the injured Cougar, on the play. Able to get to the sideline after being helped by the training staff. It'll be 4th and 1 for the Lions. Handoff to McDonald, has some room, uses the stiff arm, and gets inside the 10. Good pickup on the play from McDonald.
McDonald doing everything he can to get his team on the board. Avoid that shutout we were talking about. Big improvement from last game against Benedictine. 5 attempts for 10 yards.
Handoff to McDonald. Lions trying to find the end zone under a minute of play. And into the end zone, ball popped out. Cougars have it. Cougars have it. B.J. Pitts. B.J. Pitts gets the move. Go to the other side, my friend. And into the end zone. Oh, touchdown, Cougars. Never give up on a play.
You wanna guess what grade B.J. Pitts is in, Carter?
Take a wild guess. A freshman?
Yeah.
There we go. B.J. Pitts. A scoop and score for the Cougars. The second time the Cougars have had a scoop and score in the fourth quarter.
The refs are meeting about something.
98 yards on the play if it stands. All the officials are talking, I believe, what Mike Dufresne is talking about. Well, been a change in events. I thought it was going to be we're going to call stoppage of forward progress, but instead, a touchdown is awarded to the Lions. Kevontae McDonald will score. The Cougar faithful do not like the call.
Well, I wasn't able to see just how Pitts got the ball off that play, so it's not, obviously out of the realm of possibility that McDonald did cross. We're going to get the replay up for you.
Hard to see from the far camera angle, but it looks like McDonald was able just to break the plane. So it'll be an 8-yard touchdown for Kevontae McDonald. In for the point after attempt is Hayden Piles. It is up and through. So Finlandia will not leave River Forest scoreless as they pick up a touchdown in the late seconds of the fourth quarter, courtesy of Kevontae McDonald. Score now stands at 45-7 with just under 40 seconds to play in River Forest. And the Cougars coaches yelling for the hands team, might be anticipating an onside kick from Finlandia. Looking ahead to next week, the Cougars will be hosting the Aurora Spartans at 1 p.m. next Saturday here in River Forest. Coverage for that game will be right here at CUCougars.com on the Cougar Sports Network. Nice little gathering, too, from some of the players on the sidelines, getting ready for a photo opportunity. Cougars players having fun. The fans here in River Forest enjoying themselves on a Saturday afternoon. The Cougars on their way to picking up their first victory of the 2022 season. Finlandia still has yet to break the huddle. Now they do. Looks like they will have 5 players on each side of Piles. Cougars hands team ready, though. Blake Henson, the only Cougar deep to return. Fair catch at the 10-yard line. So it'll be interesting to see if the Cougars run a couple plays or if they line up in victory formation. But this has been a very good game for the Cougars offensively, 359 total yards of offense. Defense also with 10 tackles for a loss, 5 sacks, forced 3 turnovers. One of those was a scoop and score. So the Cougars will come out in a non-victory formation.
It's a new QB out there, Jacob Redmond, freshman out of Bishop, California.
Redmond makes a couple man miss, stays tall, and then gets knocked down. He's pulled down at the 30-yard line. So the clock's still winding down for CUC. They do not need to run a play, but they will get on the ball again. Redmond hands it off to Garcia. Nice room. Nice chug past the 40-yard line. Tackle for Finlandia made by number 30, Jesse Hill. And that will do it in the River Forest. The Cougars pick up their first win of the 2022 season by a score of 45-7 over Finlandia University. Peter, it was a really good game for the Cougars offensively, 374 yards of offense. But really, the best thing was, too, to see the passing game open up. Finn Allers had 175 yards through the air.
Yeah, good game all around from the Cougars. Start defensively. They were all over Finlandia. They knew the game plan coming in. They knew the scout coming in, and they played it extremely well. Finlandia found little breathing room until the end of the game. They were finally able to get one into the end zone, but great performance offensively as well. Everyone doing what they needed to do. Finn Allers had a great game through the air, 14 for 20 for 175. And on top of that, Cougars, this is the most points they've scored in a game since October 22nd, 2016. That was when they were at Concordia, Wisconsin. They put up 48 points in that win. So just a good all-around game from both sides of the ball from CUC. Pick up their first win on the year.
Cougars will take on the Spartans of Aurora University next Saturday, right back here at Concordia Stadium at 1 p.m. Be right back here on the Cougar Sports Network at CUCougars.com, where you can find everything for CUC football for everybody at the Cougar Sports Network under the direction of Sydney Palaskis-Lawher, Kayla McLeod, and CJ Sellner. For my partner, Peter Borkowski, I'm Carter Glidle signing off. Cougars win. We'll see you next time back here at Concordia Stadium for some more Cougar football.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.